Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you in another video. All right, so an update on the Laker situation. Torian Prince and Jalen Noel are questionable. I wanted to throw that in there because I had forgotten who some of the players were on the back of the Minnesota Timberwolves bench was as well. So I get a chance to mention Jordan McLaughlin, who needs to be remembered. A very serious defensive presence down there and getting passing lanes and steal the ball. So that's somebody I definitely did not want to forget about at all. Um, Nathan Knight is a young player that they're using as well. Young player on the back of the bench that I'm not familiar with, so I'm gonna keep my eyes open for Knight, and we'll figure out who he is if he gets playing time. I think he's a rook. We'll learn. But these are the type of things we just want to keep in mind. Obviously, we know Nas Reed is out with the wrist for the foreseeable future. He broke it, unfortunately, against the Phoenix Suns. So that information is now also in mind as we go forward. So, to be honest with you, all of those questionable people I expect to play, man. This is one of the most important games of the season. Torian Prince, I expect if he's not in too much pain, he's gonna want to go. Um, and so that's kind of how I see that. I look at the situation there and I say they're gonna have to get more from others if they're gonna try to defeat us without Nas Reed. So this ain't the game for people to kind of miss. I'm a little hurt. Nah, this is fighting for your playoff life. But we do welcome those guys not playing as Laker fans. But just in general, these aren't the games to miss at all. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a potential classic. This is set up for a very, very special regular season game when you look at how these teams have played leading up to it and what the stakes are in regards to what's on the line. You can just see an opportunity for something special to be there. Guys like Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, having seen the ball fall in the last one a little bit more so. So this is game 3 from his return. You can see something special happen tonight. Karl Towns has been back now for a couple games, so the synergy should be there. And plus, he's going to be asked to do more with Nas now out. Probably more minutes for him. This is a game that's shaping up for something for the Stars to be a part of and really do some damage. So I'm paying attention to guys like D'Angelo Russell. I'm paying attention to Jared Vanderbilt, players who used to play for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm looking at a guy like Mike Conley, who wants to continue to solidify himself as a playoff performer and needs to win a game like this to make sure that he doesn't have to play in a play-in tournament, stuff like that. Rudy Gobert and guys like this. This team, we talk about the few teams in the league that have mortgaged their future for a win-now situation. The Minnesota Timberwolves have done that very thing. And you talk about teams that have picks and stuff like that, teams that have opportunities to see where the future is going with young players coming in and all of that. They've basically let go of a lot of those opportunities to bring in Rudy Gobert by trading all of that stuff to the Utah Jazz. So if anybody needs to win this season, it's them, to justify what they've done. And so we're kind of in the way of that, by way of what it is that we're trying to do in our standings. We got our own goals, obviously, but what they've done is mortgage their future for Rudy Gobert. And so that's something that most probably wouldn't have done. But with what it is that they have right now, that's why the Nas Reed injury is so devastating to them. What they have right now could really compete. It could really compete, and it gives them an opportunity in at least the short term to dream of doing damage in the playoffs, and that's ultimately what this team has wanted. They just made the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long last year, and we know how much they celebrated that. They are really interested in getting out of the first round, and the last thing they want to do is get knocked out of the playoffs or into the play-in tournament. But that injury, I think that injury potentially might have done that to them. But the Lakers are going to have to tell the story by making sure they win this particular game. So that's really what I got to say about that, man. Honestly, I've talked about this team for 44 minutes already. So you guys are more than welcome to watch my video on that. But I just wanted to, check in with you guys and let you know that I did get some updates on the injury situation. And it does shift around some things that we may expect to see. But ultimately, I don't think those guys are going to miss this game at all. So that's all I got to say about that. Nas, of course, has no choice with the broken wrist. But other than that, man, I expect to see everybody on the Minnesota Timberwolves team come against this Laker team fighting for their playoff lives. So that's what I got to say. BDF44. Thank you all for watching. Out.